Okay, guys, I'm going to keep going. This is going to be part 3. Not sure what happened. My camera just turned off. I'm getting this video out today. Okay, so we're going to just keep going. You're going to follow your guide. So can you see here? I hope you guys can see. Move it out a little bit. You're going to just keep going, okay? When you get to this side, this is the part, when you get in this section right here, in this corner section, this is where I want you to be very careful, making sure that you're holding your hand at a diagonal, just like so, okay? And you're just going to keep going. Again, when you get to the side here, make sure you're holding your hand position on an angle, okay? Do not hold it straight horizontally. At this point, you want to make sure that you're holding it diagonal. And the reason why is because you're going to save, you do not want to create a gap in this area. If you hold that hair straight, you're going to have a big hole in there. Students do it every time, and I don't want that to happen to you. It could be fixed, but then if you have a mannequin hair that's already kind of compromised, meaning it's already a little short, then you're not going to have much room to play with. So make sure that you get that correct. And you can see I am almost done here. And I'm back to my front here. And everything connected. Okay, now remember, this is your perimeter as far as your razor, so it's not going to be completely even as far as, you know, straight. It's going to have like a little jag effect, and it's supposed to, because this is your razoring part of, you know, of the section. So don't worry about that. It's supposed to be like that. Okay, so let's move on. Now we're going to go to the top. I'm going to show you an easy way to do this haircut. All right. So you remember when I was telling you we want to make sure we're moving 1 inch, right? So you can go ahead and clearly see what that 1 inch is. I am going to go ahead. This is my guide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 1 inch, holding the hair straight up at a 90-degree angle, just like so. I'm going to cut. This is going to be, excuse me, I had a call coming in. This is going to be my first section to establish. All right, I'm going to take some of this, and you want to grab some hair from your previous guide. Okay, comb the hair straight up like so. Okay, and you want to just keep cutting. All right. I'm going to come back and I'm going to connect this part by measuring to make sure that everything meets. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move, we're going to work one section at a time. Okay, so I'm going to pull all this hair. I'm going to take another subsection, just like so. You're going to take about a 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Make sure you're working with clean lines. Can you see that? Okay, I'm gonna comb this hair straight up, just like so. And can you see what I need to cut? You can see what you need to cut. Okay, this is done. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna make another section. I'm gonna create another subsection. You're gonna comb all of the hair up together, okay? And I'm gonna cut again to my guide. You will see, you'll be able to see what needs to come off. I can clearly see what needs to go. Cut that just like so, okay? Now, when you get to the side, let me show you when you get to the side. So I have about this much left. Do not disturb the perimeter. Just let that hang out. Let me show you how it's gonna catch up. When you get, let's say you're gonna do 3 sections like that. So when you get almost done from completing the 3 sections that you've already previously established, we're gonna come here and make a vertical line, okay? What I'm gonna do, I'm getting ready to make this meet. Now at this point, you're gonna hold this straight out, just like so, okay? I can clearly see what I need to cut. I'm gonna cut that. Take your time, don't rush it. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. But you'll be able to see what needs to go, because it's gonna be, those little tags will be hanging out. I'm gonna make another section here, okay? I'm going to comb this hair straight out, and you'll be able to see straight through your guide what you need to cut. Cut that. Okay, cut. I'm gonna go back, mist, because she's starting to dry out on me a little bit. Make sure I have it straight. Yeah, she's starting to dry out, so if she dries out, you go ahead and I can see what I need to cut. Okay? Now, at this point, remember, I still have my guide. I have not disturbed my perimeter. I'm just working the interior. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all of this remaining section and I'm going to cross-check. And what you're looking for, you wanna make sure that everything is seamless. You wanna make sure that everything is even. Right? So you're gonna go 90 degrees straight up here, okay? When you get to the sides, right in here, you're gonna pull this hair out like so. And what I'm doing, I'm just making sure these sections are nice and clean at this point. Okay. Next, I'm gonna come back. So everything looks good. You can comb straight up this way, straight up like this. Check it. Everything looks good. I'm gonna come back, cross-check it this way. Okay. And you can see I have a little tag that needs to come off. I can see some hairs that I missed there. So just clean that up, just like so, all right? Next, this whole section has been created. Now what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm telling you, if you do this cut like this, you will not struggle. Now I'm gonna hold this hair out to blend it. Can you see that? And I'm gonna cut. Just like so. Okay? Next, I'm gonna take another section, go ahead and make a straight section, straight towards the front, and I'm gonna turn her around so you can see what I'm doing. See that? Okay, take your time. You have 42 minutes to get this. This is why you have to practice, because you do want to make sure that you have, that you're very proficient as far as your time goes. Okay? Cut. Can you see that? This needs to go. This section is done. Okay, now we're gonna stop. When you get right to where your eyebrow ends, you can measure right here. Can you see that? Right where the eyebrow ends, right in the temple area, we're gonna stop right there, and I'm going to create, because I wanna make sure that I blend the sides. Now let me show you how to do that. Real easy. You're just gonna take the remaining of this section. If you need to kind of pull the hair over so it's not in your way, do that. Because the thing about a haircut is you want to make sure that you are working very uniformly and also clean, meaning make sure that that hair is not bunched together, that you're working one section at a time. So see, this is my guide right here. Don't cut the guide anymore. You're just using the guide to blend. So see how the hair drops off? When it drops off, cut. When it drops off, cut. And that's done. All right, so I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna grab another section, take a little part of the previous section as your guide, and you're combing the hair straight out at a 90-degree angle, just like so. Okay, that's done. And then we're gonna do one more section here. Remember, don't cut what you already have. Try not to disturb the perimeter, okay? Because we're just using this as a guide, okay? So you're gonna just go ahead and take some of the previous section and cut. And see, you can see everything meets. Okay, now at this point, everything, this whole quadrant is established. So now at this point, what you're gonna do, we are just creating, you're gonna comb all of this hair together, just like so. And I'm just checking to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Can you see that? I'm just checking. And I see a little tag there. If you see like a little tag, meaning like one little hair maybe sticking out like that, just tip it off. It's totally cool to do that. And you're gonna comb this out as well. See, I can see a little straight. All right, so this section is complete. Okay, we're gonna call this section done. All right, so let's move to the back. So this section is completed. I'm gonna move towards the back. Okay. Watch this. Can you see how I'm not disturbing my sections? I'm working in a uniform way. Doing it like this is gonna make it easy for me. So I want you to create a guide. You remember when I established this guide right up here at the top? Okay, so I'm gonna need this. See, I got a little piece I need to tip. Okay, so I'm gonna use this section here to help me establish this section here. Okay, so watch this. I'm gonna just go ahead and make a vertical section. I'm gonna say about 1/4 of an inch straight down. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of my previous section right in the top here. We're in the apex, and I'm going to blend. So can you see that? You can see what needs to go. So just cut and trust yourself. Guys, trust yourself. So I can see my previous guide right there. I'm gonna cut to that. At this point, I'm just cutting like this. Okay? That's what you're doing. 1 inch. Because remember, we've established the 1 inch. So that's why we do those points. So I know that the haircut is going to be balanced because I've established my points to make sure that everything blends seamlessly. Okay, so next, remember, I'm gonna take some of this previous section. Can you see that? Now look how clean of a section I'm making. I'm gonna comb all this hair together and I can see what needs to go. Cut. This is just a 90-degree cut. That's all this is. When you get to the back, I'm holding this hair straight out. Can you see that? And I'm cutting. Okay. Now at this point, I'm all the way in the back. Here is, this is my guide. See, this is the part that we razor, right? So I'm gonna make sure everything should meet. And it's going to. And I'm gonna just check. By the time I get to this back, everything should merge or meet, whatever word you want to give it. Okay, and I can see what needs to go. So just cut that off. Okay. All right. Next, I'm gonna come to this side over here, and you're just gonna keep going. If you can't see your guide, that means you have too much hair. So you can go in and break some of it apart, if you will. Take some smaller sections so that you can see your guide. And I want to give you another tip. If you lose your guide, do not continue to cut. Stop. Stop cutting and go back and find your guide. Okay? If that means you got to retrack your steps back to your original place and start over without cutting, obviously, just go back and find your guide. Do that and keep going, because you don't want to keep cutting, because if you keep cutting, that means you're going to lose the guide, number one, and number two, you're going to botch up the cut. So just stop. So I can clearly see what needs to go. I'm going to cut that off. And then I got my next section here. Cut. Cut. And at this point, you bring all of this together. Okay. Now I'm working, this is what's called the interior, right? Can you see I am just combing this hair straight out. It's coming straight out, just like so. All right. And I'm pulling the remaining of this hair back. And the reason why I'm pulling it back is because I don't want to lose, I don't want to make it shorter, okay? So I need to pull this hair back just like so. And I'm checking, and I can see. You guys can't see it, but you'll be able to see inside your fingers. You can see what needs to go. So cut that off. And I'm gonna, and you see that? You can see what needs to go. Everything looks good. I can see I have a few tags in there. So you'll be able to see what needs to go. And you know, you just go back in and cross check. If you missed anything, just tip it off. So now at this point, we are completed. Okay, so it's taking me about 13 minutes. You have 42 minutes to get this completed. This section is done. Both sections are done. These first two sections are done. So obviously what you're gonna do, what you do to one section, you do to the other. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. I was thinking about just doing another video, but I think it'll be easier to just go ahead and finish her off. And we're gonna call this completed as far as the demonstration. All right, so again, we're gonna go back because I want to show you. We're gonna make another section here, just like we did here. Remember when I established this guide here? We're gonna do the same thing here. So go ahead and make a vertical section. Can you see that? Straight back, okay? Now, I want to take some of my previous guide from this section here. Why are we doing this class? The reason why is because I need to make sure that my guideline is there. So I need to use that hair to establish my guide. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but I can clearly see what needs to go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Cut. Okay, pull this up, straight up. Okay, cut and cut. Okay, done. Right, I'm gonna make another section. Now remember, we're gonna do this like three times. Vertical, going straight up. Okay, I see my guide. Can you see all those little hairs that needs to come on? Cut. Okay. I always would teach this cut. I would always modify the cut from the traditional way of the way some of these schools are, excuse me, teaching this particular cut, because I don't know, I'm just kind of more of a practical instructor. I believe that there's always an easier way, and I strive to try to create an easy way for the students to understand it, and as a consequence, they're gonna grab it quicker, and they're just gonna love doing it. I don't want them to struggle with the haircut. Okay, so now you can see that, right? I see my guide, cut. And I'm actually using 7.5 shears. You guys, you're gonna use the smaller ones, which you need to because you're still learning. Okay, so I see my guide there, cut. And then make sure you only want to use about an inch of the blade, okay? You do not want to cut too far past your knuckle in here, because if you do that, you will inadvertently cut yourself, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so this is done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, create another section here, which is vertical. I'm gonna go ahead, remember, you see I'm still not disturbing my guide there. I'm just working the interior of this quadrant. It's real easy. Don't overthink it. You got this. You're gonna be fine, you're gonna be great, and you're gonna be the best hair cutter ever. So I can see I'm taking my time, because I wanna make sure that you all are following along with me. And I also wanna say, feel free to leave me some comments below. If you have something in particular that you would like for me to demonstrate, I would love to do it. Just send me a chime below in the comment section. And for those of you who have followed my state board videos, I thank you. Those really get a lot of views on my channel, and I appreciate you all supporting me in that fashion. Okay, so you can see here, I'm still going. I can see my guide. Just keep cutting. We're almost completed with this particular quadrant, okay? And then I'm gonna go back and merge the perimeter with the interior. Can you see that? At this point, now remember, when you get to the sides, you're just holding it out. This is a 90-degree at this point. So you're gonna go up, straight up, 90, 45 degrees, 90, 90, 45, back to the 90. Make sense? All right, so just keep going. At this point, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead, take some of this previous section, and let's go ahead and take a little smaller section here. And I wanna make sure, see? Can you see that? I can clearly see where it needs to go. Everything is there. I don't need to cut anything else because it's even. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this hair. At this point, all you're doing, we're just blending the front, the perimeter with the interior, okay? So just go straight up. Everything looks good. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the sides. Remember what I said, when we go to the side, you're gonna go ahead and carve out vertical section straight down. Take some of that front hair, because we need to be able to measure, right? Can you see that? You see the guide? Cut, 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 and cut. That's done. Okay? I'm going to take some more. I can see the guide. Remember, 45-degree angle at this point. See that? 90 to 45 degrees to, what are the sides? 90, straight out, just like so. Okay, that's done. She's looking good. All right, so last but not least, we have our last section. Okay, I'm gonna turn her this way so you guys can follow along. Okay. Okay, so now remember, this was the section that I'm gonna need for the back quadrant, right? So let's go ahead and take a little piece. Why are we grabbing this piece from this section? Because I need to make sure that my last section is even to balance this haircut on out. So I am going to hold this hair. Let's go ahead and go, there's my guide right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut here to here, and I'm just gonna go straight down. You can go ahead and make that section vertically. Go ahead and make your vertical section so you can just, you won't have to stop. You can just keep going, if that makes sense. Okay. Cut. Just trust yourself. Hair cutting is just basically common sense. I also wanted to say that for those of you who would like to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, or not consultation, but a one-on-one state board prep consultation, I would love to do that with you. If you would like for me to do that, I also do state board prep to help my students pass state board. A lot of times when the students graduate from beauty school, some of them don't always go right away to test. And so statistics show if you do not go and test right away, you're gonna forget it, right? Well, that's where I come in at. I'm the state board tutor. So I, essentially what I do, I help the students go into more like a refresher course. I take them through the written part of the exam as well as the practical, and I prepare them to essentially help them go on to success, to pass and start making money. So if you would like, I will leave my email in the description bar. So if you need to reach out to me, email me, and we can just go from there. I am in Texas, so we can just create a, we can work it out. So as you can see, I am just combing this hair. Remember, when I get to the sides, you're gonna over direct this hair back. Why are we over directing it? Because we don't want to make the hair shorter on the sides. So you need to over direct to preserve the length on the sides, because remember, we're not trying to remove any more length on the sides. We need that to stay established the way it is, okay? And she is complete. She's complete. Now at this point, what you can do, I want you to go back, because I can tell that she's even because I can feel it, but you as a student, I want you to just go back in and just basically pull the hair up. Can you see that? Look, everything is there. This is what you're looking for. You want to make sure everything meets. Comb it all back up together, just like so. And I'm at 30 minutes, so I still have like, let's say like 12 minutes left, which is good. And actually, the more you do this, okay, the easier it's going to become for you. And I have a tag. I'm kind of glad I have one because I wanted to show you. There's this one little piece of hair there. If you have like a little piece of hair, a tag, whatever, just clip it off. Even if during Stay Bold, when the proctor comes over, let's say he did find the tag, you may lose a half a point or a point. It's nothing. It's not going to be a deal breaker for you. And so I'm going to go straight up like this. But before you raise your hand for the proctor to come over to check your haircut, I want you to go in, especially if you have time. If you have the time, go in and make sure you check everything, just like what I'm doing. So you just checking to make sure you didn't miss anything. And if you did miss something, like see like me, that little piece of hair there, tip it off and just keep going. You're just checking to make sure that everything is balanced. So I can see I missed a little something over here in the back. Just go in and remove that hair. You'll be able to feel it. You can just look at it and tell, oh, I need to trim that on off. But if you follow the guide the way I've taught you, you will not, your haircut is going to be pretty even. And if not, it may be perfect. So I want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. And until the next time, be blessed, be inspired, but most of all, be encouraged and go do cosmetology. Bye-bye.